In this video, we're going to work on example 2.5 from your book. If you would like to follow along, open the Chapter 2 classwork.xlsx workbook from My Courses and click on the EX 2.5 worksheet tab. In this example, we're going to use the VLOOKUP function, which is one of the most requested Excel skills by employers. With the VLOOKUP, we're going to tell Excel to look up value 1007. In this case, it's going to be on row 10 in our list, and then to return a value from a particular column. First, we're going to ask it to return the payment. Payment is in column C, which is the third column. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. And then we're going to ask it to return the transaction code from column D, which is the fourth column. So to put in your VLOOKUP formula, first click in cell K4. We're going to click Formulas. In the function library group, we're going to click Lookup and Reference, and then VLOOKUP. In the lookup value, we're going to click on cell J4. In the book, they just typed the number 1007 in the lookup value, but this is superior because typing 10007 in the lookup value means that you would have to edit the formula to look up another customer ID. In this case, by putting the customer ID in cell J4, we can simply just type another customer ID and the formula will work. Now we're going to click in the table array. For the table array, we're going to click on cell A4 and select the range A4 all the way down as far as it goes, column H, down to H475. I'm going to click in the column index number. I'm going to scroll all the way to the top so I can see my column headers. We want the payment. Payment is in column C, so in the column index number, we're going to type the number 3. And notice how credit comes up. And if we look at line 10, 10007 does in fact have a credit payment. Now, very important, in the range lookup box, we're just going to type the word false. Very important, because otherwise Excel will get a close enough match as opposed to an exact match. With the word false in the range lookup, you will make sure to always get an exact match. So I'm going to click OK, and you can see now the way this formula works, that if I type another number, for example 10011, and hit enter, notice how that comes up automatically as PayPal. 10011 is in fact PayPal. We could copy and edit the formula, but let's get some more experience with VLOOKUP. So let's put in the VLOOKUP now to look up the transaction code. The only difference should be that in this case we're pulling the value from column 4 instead of column 3. So I'm going to click in cell L4. I'm going to click Formulas. In the function library group, Lookup and Reference, and down at the bottom, VLOOKUP. Our lookup value is still the customer ID, so I'm going to click on cell J4. Our table array is still the same. We start off in cell A4 and select all the way down to H475. In this case, our column index number is 4. So I clicked in column index number and then scrolled back all the way up. So notice in this case, in column L, we want to return the transaction code. Transaction code is in column D, which is in the fourth column, A, B, C, D. So for column index number, we type the number 4. And notice how the transaction number comes up. And once again, extremely important in that range lookup to type the word false to make sure that you get an exact match. So I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to click on cell J4, customer ID, and type 10007 and hit enter, and notice the correct payment and transaction code comes up for customer 10007. Now, if you want to get really fancy with the customer ID, what we can do is we can put a list in cell J4 so somebody can choose from a list. So click in cell J4 and type the delete key. Just hit the delete key on your keyboard. Notice we have an NA and an NA. Don't worry about that. That will change soon. Now, making sure that you're still in cell J4, we're going to click Data tab. In our Data Tools group, we're going to click Data Validation, and then Data Validation. You should be on the Settings tab. If you're not on the Settings tab, make sure that you're on the Settings tab. Under Allow, instead of any value, you're going to choose List. Now, in the source of the list, you're going to click on cell A4 and then select the range A4 all the way down to A475. Then all you have to do is click OK. We will scroll back to the top, and now notice there's a down arrow next to customer ID, and there's a scroll bar. We can now click from the list any customer ID, and it will automatically return both the payment and the transaction code. So notice if we click away from cell J4, the down arrow goes away, but if we click on cell J4, we have a down arrow and can choose any customer ID that we would like. Alright, we have just finished example 2.5.